And Sarah, her possibilities of having children physically, there were zero. There were none. But yet God said, I will give you descendants. I will give you children. Now, Sarah was very desperate after the promise was given to her, because time went by and nothing happened. There was no results. Sarah had the tent, very nice, probably decorated with roses, you know, setting the mood for the old man Abraham, and nothing happened. Now, at this point, the human part of Sarah was getting pretty desperate. How many of you know that when God gives a word, He doesn't need our help?
Amen.
Every time we try to help God, we end up messing up the purpose of God. We end up destructing the purpose of God. When God said, I am going to do something in your life, it doesn't matter what He's going to do it in your life. He doesn't need your help. He doesn't need you to put your hands in God's work. Let Him take all the glory. Do you understand what I'm saying this morning? He doesn't need your help to fix your problems or fix my problems. Let Him take all the glory. Let Him do it Himself. So the glory belongs only to God.
Amen.
Sarah couldn't see it. Her desperation drove her to do something foolish. When she saw that nothing was happening and the promise wasn't getting fulfilled, she decided to take her slave, Hagar, and bring it to her husband, Abraham, and said, you know what? You can have my slave and just sleep with her so she might get pregnant and she can have a child, and that will be the child of the promise. But the promise from God was to Sarah, not to Hagar. Now, a lot of people, I gotta make a pause right here, because a lot of people judge Abraham for what he did. But let me tell you something, that the action that they did about bringing the slave was something that was very common in those times. If a woman with a very social status, you know, had slaves, and she wasn't able to bear children, she could have her slave and bring it to her husband, so that her husband could sleep with her and they will have descendants, because he will be a child from the man of the house. And some of them were so far that when the slave got pregnant, then the woman of the house will sit down and have the slave sit on her lap and deliver the children, as pretending that her children was coming out of her wombs, and it was her own child. That was a very common custom to practice. A lot of people judge Abraham. Well, he took advantage. No, it was on those times it was very common to happen like that. The thing was that they had a promise from God, and in the promise, the name of Hagar was not present. He told Abraham and he told Sarah, I will give you a child when the time comes right. And this is what I really like about God. He said, when the time is right, when the time comes to, I will deliver. I will do it. And this is the problem that a lot of us have had for many years. We cannot wait for the time, for God's time. We want God to do it my way, my time, how I said so. That will put you in the Lord's position and will put God in the servant position.